How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into the 2025 New York City mayoral election. It's already shaping up to be a big one.
Absolutely. It feels like more than just a local race this time around.
Definitely. We're talking about a potentially pivotal moment for the city. You know, public safety, housing costs, the economy bouncing back, social justice issues. It's all on the table.
Right.
And the main dynamic we want to explore today is between the incumbent, Mayor Eric Adams, and a really significant progressive challenger, Zoran Mamdani. Our goal here is to, cut through some of the noise. We've looked at a lot of material, and we want to distill the key things you need to know to really understand this crucial election. Give you that shortcut.
Sounds good.
So I guess the first question for a lot of people is, who exactly is Zoran Mamdani? Looking into his background, it's pretty unique.
It really is. He was born Zoran Kwame Mamdani in Kampala, Uganda.
Right, and his parents are quite well known. His father is Mahmoud Mamdani, the Ugandan-American academic, very distinguished. And his mother is Mira Nair, the filmmaker.
Yeah, the acclaimed Indian-American filmmaker. It's quite the pedigree.
And you can see how this sort of global upbringing, this rich cultural background, it seems to really inform his progressive worldview. It's not just trivia.
No, definitely not. And you see that reflected in how he got into politics. He didn't just appear, right?
Yeah.
He started with grassroots organizing, building support from the ground up.
And then the assembly race in 2020, that was his breakthrough.
Exactly. He ran for the New York State Assembly and actually unseated a longtime incumbent over in Astoria, Queens. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
And his campaign was very explicitly based on, democratic socialist principles, thinking about social and economic equality, stronger government programs, sort of in the vein of figures like AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay.
That win really put him on the map as a major progressive voice in the city.
So taking that progressive voice, that assembly experience, how does that translate into his actual policy ideas, his platform for the city? What's he championing?
Well, this is where you see him pushing for what he'd call bold structural changes, not just tinkering around the edges.
Like on housing. That's always huge in NYC.
Absolutely central. He's pushing hard for universal rent control, big investments in social housing programs, too, and much stronger protections for tenants.
So trying to fundamentally change the equation on affordability.
Exactly. And in a city where, everyone knows someone's struggling with rent, right? His goal seems to be reshaping that whole real estate near me dynamic that defines so much of New York life, prioritizing stability over just market rates.
That's a big shift from the usual approach.
It is. It's a direct challenge, ideologically, to the city's powerful real estate sector. It hints at, shifting economic power.
Okay, so housing is key. What else defines his platform?
Well, there's economic equity more broadly. He talks about increasing taxes on the wealthy, on large corporations, redistributing wealth, boosting workers' rights, supporting unions, fighting for higher wages, living wages. Universal health care is another big one. He supports a single-payer system, obviously that's more of a state issue, but pushing for it and generally expanding access to affordable care for everyone.
And childcare too, I saw.
Yes, definitely. He frames universal affordable childcare not just as a family issue, but as a core economic and social justice issue.
Right.
And finally, climate action. He's proposing some pretty ambitious environmental goals, big investments in renewable energy infrastructure, policies to cut the city's carbon footprint, really responding to those growing climate concerns, the weird weather, the occasional earthquake now even.
Wow. So putting it all together,
yeah,
he sounds like a very clear voice for those wanting a real break from more centrist politics.
I think that's fair to say. He's a compelling figure for that wing of the party. If he runs for mayor, and it looks likely he will, it's going to set up a really significant ideological debate in that primary.
Okay, let's broaden out then. Talk about the whole 2025 election landscape. First, the incumbent, Eric Adams. He can run again, and everyone expects him to, right?
Yes, absolutely. He's eligible for a second term, and all signs point to him running.
And his platform. It's generally been focused on public safety, getting the economy back on track, and what he likes to call pragmatic governance, getting stuff done.
Right. He'll run on his record. his handling of the city post-pandemic, his approach to crime. But as you mentioned, he is a Democrat, but his policies, well, they definitely get pushback from the party's progressive wing.
No question. So given how heavily Democratic New York City is, the real action is probably going to be in the Democratic primary.
Almost certainly. That primary is usually where the election is effectively decided, and it often gets crowded. Lots of candidates trying to appeal to different parts of that very diverse Democratic base.
It's going to be fascinating to watch. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
The impact of ranked choice voting.
Ah, yes. Crucial.
For anyone who isn't totally clear on it, can you just break down how that works in New York City and why it matters so much here?
Sure. It's vital to understand this race. So instead of just picking one person, you rank the candidates. First choice, second choice, third choice, and so on, as many as you want.
Okay.
Then, if no single candidate gets more than 50% of the first choice votes right off the bat.
Which seems likely in a crowded field.
Very likely. Then the candidate with the fewest first choice votes gets eliminated. But their votes aren't just thrown out, they get redistributed to whoever those voters put as their second choice.
Wow.
And that process repeats. Eliminate the lowest, redistribute their votes based on the next preference until one candidate finally crosses that 50% threshold and has a majority.
So it forces candidates to think beyond just their hardcore base.
Exactly. It encourages them to build broader appeal. You want to be people's second or even third choice, not just their first. For someone like Mamdani, who might have a really passionate base but needs broader support, picking up those second and third place votes from people who maybe initially preferred someone else, that could be his path. It's huge.
That completely changes the campaign strategy. Okay, so besides Adams and Mamdani, who else might jump in? We hear names like maybe some borough presidents, city council members. Justin Brandon's name comes up sometimes.
Yeah, you'll likely see other established Democrats test the waters, borough presidents, senior council members like Brannon, maybe others. On the Republican side, look, you might see names like Andy Ogles or Charlie Kirk pop up in online searches because they're national figures.
Right, but realistically.
Realistically, any serious Republican challenger would be a local New York figure, someone focused on, public safety, fiscal issues. But let's be honest, it's a very steep climb for any Republican in a citywide race in New York.
Definitely an uphill battle. Okay, before we dig into the issues themselves, let's clear up some noise that's out there, some misconceptions. We see keywords popping up like Cuomo versus Mamdani. Okay, let's unpack this. What's really going on there? Is Cuomo running for mayor?
Right. It's important to be really clear on this. Andrew Cuomo, the former governor, has given absolutely no indication he plans to run for mayor of New York City.
None.
When you see things like Cuomo concedes election or talk about his concession speech, that all refers back to his resignation as governor in August 2021. That was amidst multiple scandals. It has nothing to do with a mayoral race against Mamdani or anyone else.
So no secret Cuomo mayoral campaign.
No. And there haven't been any legitimate Cuomo versus Mamdani polls for mayor because, well, it's not a thing. Eric Adams is the current mayor.
Good to clarify. And along those same lines, we sometimes see questions like, did Mamdani win? Or who won New York mayor? As if the election's already done.
Yeah, that's just way premature. It's crucial for everyone to remember. Today is June 28th, 2025. The election hasn't happened yet.
Right. The Democratic primary is still months away than the general election after that. So any talk about New York mayoral election results 2025 or who won, it's purely speculation right now. The campaigns are really just getting started.
Okay. And one last bit of noise clearing. We see other names sometimes associated vaguely with this, like Emily Ratajkowski, Laura Gillen, Robert Reich, Cynthia Nixon, even athletes like Natasha Cloud or Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, look, those individuals, for various reasons, might pop up in related searches or discussions, but they aren't expected to be actual candidates or major players in this specific NYC mayoral election. Of course, Zorian's father, Mahmoud Mamdani, is relevant context for his background, but the others, not really direct factors here.
Got it. So let's pull this all together then. What's the big picture? What is a contest like this, Adams, the incumbent, versus Mamdani, the progressive challenger? What does it really mean for New York City's future?
I think you said it earlier, it really is shaping up as a referendum on the city's direction. You're going to have very different visions for New York's future laid out, and the core issues aren't going away.
Not at all. They'll be front and center. Public safety, obviously. How do you balance effective policing with with criminal justice reform? How do you build community trust? That's a huge debate.
Always is.
Then affordability.
Yeah.
And not just housing, though that's massive, but also job creation, support for small businesses, just the insane cost of living here.
Right.
We'll also hear a lot about infrastructure, the subways, bridges, dealing with climate change impacts, investing in that aging infrastructure versus other priorities. Education, too. The school system is enormous.
Huge. The future of public schools, tackling those deep inequalities, that'll be a major battleground. And sort of overarching all of this is governance itself, leadership. Who do voters trust to actually manage this incredibly complex city, its massive budget, and try to unite, a very diverse population?
It's a massive job. And we'll see things like primary polls, maybe those polymarket prediction markets, trying to gauge the sentiment as things heat up.
For sure, people will be looking for any indicator. And of course, the NYC Board of Elections will be overseeing the whole mechanical process registration, early voting, the count itself. They've got a big job, too.
So, wrapping up, the 2025 New York City mayoral election really does feel like a critical juncture for the city. With Zohran Mamdani stepping up as this strong, progressive voice challenging Eric Adams, it seems like you, the voter, are going to get a very clear choice between quite different philosophies of governing.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. Really consider how ranked choice voting plays into all this. It's not just a technicality. It could genuinely shape how candidates campaign, who they try to appeal to beyond their base, maybe even the kinds of alliances that form. It could fundamentally change the outcome and therefore the future direction of this iconic city. Something to definitely keep in mind as this race unfolds.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here. And you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.